Hello, I'm Nate Sutton. I work in the precision department at Eldon C. Stutzman in Hills, Iowa. My main focus is Raven, and today we're going to be installing an ICD Sidekick injection pump and a Raven RCM on an anhydrous toolbar. So this is the base RCM control unit right here. In the box, you will find 3 magnets and 3/4 inch bolts, and they are used to actually mount the RCM to a flat piece of steel. You just screw them in and tighten them up. The RCM magnets are strong enough that I have mounted them on 6x6 square tubes and they do not fall off. The next step in the assembly, this is the actual RCM harness. The 2 big plugs are what actually plugs into the RCM, and they are color coded. The gray one plugs into the gray side. The big black one plugs into the black side. And they also include a dust cap that goes into the center. The center port is not used in this application. We use the center port when we get into multi-product applications and we need more inputs and outputs. One of the really nice things about this RCM setup is almost all of the plugs are unique. So it's almost virtually impossible to plug this in wrong. This is the end of the RCM harness, and that's where we're going to plug our front extension harness into. Front extension harness has a stainless steel end that plugs into your tractor, a fuse holder that actually protects the RCM, a master switch connector, and then the John Deere style connector that actually plugs into the RCM harness. It's as simple as picking the right connector, and on the back side of this connector there's 2 little divots, and they go with the clip, and that locks them in. Same with this one. When you're done locking them in, clip the red and the white ahead and it locks them together so they can't be pulled apart on the toolbar. This is the terminator harness that comes with the front extension kit. It's the same connector. We have to terminate the end of the line so the CAN bus is happy. This one is just a dust plug. The terminator does not use high current power. Lock the caps in so it doesn't accidentally fall off. And we're hooked up to the front extension harness now to go up into the tractor. This is the product harness that goes with the RCM. I selected a 6-section product harness to show everybody this. This is capable of doing 6 sections. There's 2 pressure transducer connections, a master valve connection, a master on-off connection, and a flow meter connection. If you have an HP system, which is the pump on the Vortex cooler, there's a connector for the control valve that runs that, and then there's also a separate pressure transducer one for the HP system. This is a 47-pin connector on this side that actually connects to the 47 pin right here. It's keyed. You cannot push it on wrong, and don't force it. It goes on very easily when you get the keys lined up. On the front extension harness, there's 2 high current power fuses back here that also help protect the valves down on the line. This is the master switch harness. On this harness, you have a gray connector right here that plugs into the front extension. You have your foot pedal master switch harness right there. And then this one is for implement steering constant power. If you are not running instant implement steering on your machine, you do not need to plug this into anything. On the front extension harness that plugs into the tractor, plugs into the gray one right here. It's keyed, so you cannot plug it in wrong. And fits together like that. The last piece is the master pedal. This goes in your cab. This enables and disables the system. It plugs in to that connector right there. This has to be in the cab for you to enable and disable the system. Raven does not allow an on-screen switch or not to have a master switch in the system. This bracket right here can mount above your IBBC connector on your tractor, and this gray plug for the foot pedal on the tractor side will mount right through the hole, and you can leave it permanently mounted on the tractor and not have to have it dangling by your SCVs or anything. But it is also included in the foot pedal switch kit. Today, for demonstration purposes, we're using a Raven low volume ICD pump. We're using a 115 7100 012 injection harness. It's Gen 1 John Deere style plugs. To install it on the harness, you simply remove your terminator, plug it in where the terminator is at, plug the terminator in at the end, and then it's correctly installed. One of the really nice things about a Sidekick is every connector is unique. They're keyed and they're color coded, or if they're a weather pack, they're opposite directions, so you can't plug them in wrong. Keyed, plug it in the right way, plug the black one in. The round with the purple gasket is your pressure transducer. One thing I will tell you from experience is you do not want this harness pulling down on the pressure transducer. You will ruin the harness. So we do want a little bit of slack going into the pressure transducer. We have two connections left. One is the weather pack that goes to your vacuum sensor that tells if you have a valve off or the pump is pulling a vacuum against your tank. It's a weather pack, it just plugs in. The other one is your flow sensor on the front. It is keyed, a 3-pin connects all with a lock ring. Find the key, get it lined up and lock it in. The other connections on here are for agitation, which in this application we're not going to use. If you're doing a dry flowable in another application, you can actually do agitation and a rinse valve with this harness. Now we have all our wiring hooked up correctly. We can plug the stainless steel connector into the IBBC connector on your tractor. So our RCM is loaded in, our pump is loaded in. This pop-up is normal. It lets us know that we've installed a new pump on the system, and now we need to tell the RCM that it's there. Hit the check mark. We're actually going into the RCM, so we're in our fast test for RCM. Hit the gears. We need to edit our profile to do this. Now, we're not going to make any changes on this. There's only one checkbox we have to change. So we're going to go to the next page. Right here. Here it's found our injection pump, and that's the last 4 digits of the serial number. We'll drop that down, we'll make it product 2, and we'll hit the next box all the way through the setup of the RCM. That way the RCM will know that the Sidekick pump is there and that it's supposed to be controlling it. So now we're all the way through the RCM setup. Now where do we actually set up the injection pump? So let's say we have a 110 gallon tank capacity. Our current level is going to be 100%. We're going to set our low level alarm at 10 gallons. We'll go to the next page. Here we have to put one rate in. You can fill out all 3 if you want to, but we have to have at least one rate in there to go on to the next stage. Predefined our RX, we'll leave it there for this one because it's using the RCM. We'll leave the rate smoothing on. Here's our summary of the whole thing. Hit the next button. It's going to reboot and reload itself. So now, on our tab on the left-hand side, we have our RCM and we also have our injection pump. On the main run page of the RCM, we have product 1, which is your anhydrous, and product 2, which is your injection pump. To be able to apply, that has to be green, and you also have to go to the injection pump page and turn it on. We have a 32 ounce rate. We'll refill our tank. And it will actually apply N-Serve and anhydrous right now if we were in the field and ready to go. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions, please give us a call and ask for the Precision Department.